Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'll be showing you another local homemade recipe. It's called Owho soup. I'm from Niger Delta, as you're all aware, and these are the ingredients that we'll be using for this recipe. It's very easy, it's very simple to make. I've still got some of my products that was given to me from back home, so I'm making the most out of it. I'll link the ingredients in the description boxes for you to see. You can use chicken, you can use fish, you can use whatever protein you want, a little bit of palm oil, some smoked catfish fillet, and of course my dry fish from home. Oh my god guys, I've just been enjoying myself. This is potash, they call it a cow, and I've got my water boiling already, so I'll just put my fish and my chicken in there to boil, because like I said from all my previous videos, it's a bit properly dried, so I really want it to soften up a bit so it's not too hard to chew. So every time I'm using these proteins, I'm just going to add a little bit of water before I cook. Either I soak them in water or I'll put them so it can boil for some minutes before I go ahead and cook, because I really like it to be soft, and I always want all my flavors to go into my dry processed meat and fish, as you can see. So I'll be using some Scotch Bonnets as usual, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that mix that I'll put in later. So this is a little bit of salt for taste and seasoning, and I'll use some seasoning cube at this point, maybe just one seasoning cube for now, just to check that the taste is okay. So that is going to go in there. And Owho soup is something that we don't usually cook it all the time in the house, but when we do once in a while, it's always so yummy. And this is my pepper blend that's going. I've got pepper, ginger, garlic, onions, all the work that I use for my seasoning as well. So this is going into my mix, and I'll just add a little bit of water, because the water is what you would use for the level of water is what you use to determine how much of the soup, how much of the paste you want. That is what you use to thicken it. So if you want the soup to be a lot, then you can use a lot of water. If you want it to be really thick, then you can use small water to add your ingredients into. But I want the soup that we can eat for maybe a day or two, so I added a little bit of water. Now some palm oil is going to go in to give it a bit of color. Not too much palm oil, but just a little to give it a bit of color and for taste as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my fish, crayfish, at this stage, and I'll just put in a little bit for seasoning as well. Crayfish just gives you that local taste. My stockfish fillet is going to go in as well. So the thing with Owho soup, you can add whatever you want. You can use just chicken if it's only chicken you want. You can use just fish, you can use goat's meat, you can use anything. It's just mix and just mix and grab everything that goes into the pot. Sometimes you can use just leftover protein as well. You can use lamb, you can even use ribs, whatever you like. So my smoked fish is going to go in, and I'm just breaking this into smaller pieces because I actually want the taste to come out. And then I would just mix this a little so everything gets a good boil, and so everything can cook properly and all the taste and seasoning can just go in there. And I'll allow this to boil for a few minutes. Like I said, I want everything to be really soft, and when it's properly cooked and it's boiled, I will come back and show you what it looks like. Now I'm just adding a little bit of my potash. Honestly, I don't even know why people use potash, guys. Like, is it to make it softer? Is it to give you that local taste? But I just know that it's a recipe that you can't miss with your Owho soup. So I just usually add just a little in there, not too much. I don't like the taste of the potash. It gives you this, for me, this very funny taste. If you can really taste it too much. So I usually don't. If I can avoid using potash, honestly, I would. But like I said, it's part of the recipe, so it has to go in, but very little for me. So you can see that I've added the potash, and it's now beginning to kind of like foam up a bit. So I think that's what it's supposed to do. Maybe like change the palm oil taste or something. So I'll just cover this and allow it to boil. And when it's properly boiled and it's soft, I'll then go ahead and add my thickener. Remember guys, I'm using starch as my thickener for this recipe because I still have a lot of starch from my previous recipe, But like I said, you can use anything to thicken. You can use yam, you can use gari, you can use corn flour, or anything that you can use as your thickener at this stage. So I just mix my starch a little bit with water so it's not thickened. I sieve this just to be sure that there's no dirt and sand and stuff, at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to thicken my soup, guys. Just like that, your Owho soup is ready. As in, just as long as you've added your thickener to it, your soup is ready. It's so yummy. Can you see how it's already getting thick? From just my liquid boil, it's turning into a thickened soup and yummy goodness. Oh my god, guys, this soup was so tasty. My husband ate everything in one go. It didn't even last for the 2 days that I was making. So because I've added the starch to it, I'll then allow it to boil for just a little bit, so it's properly cooked and it's not raw, and to infuse with all the other flavors and stuff that I've added there into the soup. Guys, my soup is ready, honestly speaking. Now for me, as a proper Niger Delta girl, I'm going to be eating this with starch and banga and my Owho soup, but my husband is going to eat this with yam and some ripe plantain. So this is what it looks like. I had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.